forms of transportation during the COVID-19 pandemic help reduce commute times for Northern Virginia commuters. Alex Lucas reports on some options that commuters have.
In 2019, according to the Metropolitan Washington Council of Governments, the average commute time driving into D.C. from Northern Virginia was 43 minutes. But now, during the pandemic, some commuters are reducing traffic time by taking the omnibus to get to work. Omnibus driver Larry Newman cares a lot about his riders during these times.
We all have to get through this, and we certainly, have to support one another in a time like this. Be patient. We're going to get through it, and hopefully everybody will do that. Things will get back to normal as soon as possible.
Here in Northern Virginia, there are several parking ride lots like this one located next to I-66 in Gainesville, Virginia. There are over 1,000 parking lot spaces here at this parking ride lot where commuters can park their vehicles and either join a carpool, van pool, or even ride the bus, leaving all of that driving to someone else. Reporting for District Wire News, I'm Alex Lucas.
The transit agency is facing financial crisis due to the pandemic bringing ridership down. This may lead to the closing of over 20 metro stations in the DMV. Myra Patrick reports.
Due to the pandemic, 22 metro stations could be closing around the DMV in 2022 without another round of federal funding. Since the pandemic, ridership is down almost 90%, and with the decrease in funds, cuts and layoffs could begin as soon as January 2022.
Here, outside of Columbia Heights Metro Station, there is not much traffic in and out, and with the possibility of 22 metro stations closing in the district next year, could pose some inconveniences to residents.
They're supposed to have some money in the budget to pay for this, so I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, hopefully they don't close them, because it will affect my travels.
It's unacceptable to cut a lot of trips up here because people need to get to point A and point B. That needs to be done. Cutting trips is not the answer. Getting the money from the government will help save Metro.
One Columbia Heights resident believes that lower prices are the solution.
The Metro really needs to tighten up too and come up with a solution to provide the people a service that is affordable so they can really access and go to the Metro.
If the new round of federal stimulus is approved, the Metro could receive hundreds of millions of dollars. For District Wire News, I'm Myra Patrick.
Governor Ralph Northam announced last week that restrictions on indoor dining will change, allowing restaurants and bars to extend their hours. Our John Seward sat down with the local restaurant group to discuss how this will affect business.
Starting this week, adjustments Governor Ralph Northam made to his executive order will change when restaurants are allowed to serve alcohol.
I know that it impacts dining and then the opening hours and closing hours. I wanted to see how that's affecting the restaurant.
The fact that we were, allowed to get the additional 2 hours at the end of the night with his most recent update to the restrictions is hugely beneficial for us. I think, our restaurants are they're saloons at heart. We've got a lot of multiple bars in each location. People like to eat later, and there's, no reason for us to not be able to serve you safely at 10 o'clock, any differently at 10 o'clock than at 11 o'clock or midnight.
The changes went into effect March 1st and will continue unless there is a rise in coronavirus cases. For District Wire News, I'm John Seward.
The COVID-19 pandemic has left nail salons around D.C. nearly empty. Glamour Nails in Northeast D.C., just minutes from the Capitol building, is one of the nail salons that has been heavily affected by the pandemic. Since its reopening in May, nail appointments at the salon have decreased by over 50%, according to the owner. Glamour Nails has implemented extra precautions like plastic dividers at each nail station, in addition to the mask mandate and sanitation upon entrance. Ruth, a nail technician at the salon, shares her experience working during the pandemic.
And now we have to use these, and sometimes it's a little bit uncomfortable. I don't know. And I don't know, but before people come more frequently, or the business is too busy, but now it's not the same.
Glamour Nails has been in operation for over 9 years and has been able to remain open despite the hardships of the pandemic. They were even able to hook me up with this manicure. Communities have been socially struggling since COVID-19 guidelines have advised people to stay home. Jared Gabrilowitz reports on one park that is allowing people to get back outdoors.
It's been roughly 1 year since we were told to quarantine, and people are starting to feel more comfortable leaving their homes. Staying at home for an extended time has shown to be difficult for some. Martina Koss explains the social challenges for children growing up during this pandemic.
And also, I think it's a little bit sad because they miss the part to get out and play with their friends. They haven't grown up doing that, and I don't know how that will affect them. So my little one has 2 siblings, and she plays quite rough with them. So when she sees kids her own age, she doesn't really know how to interact with them because she hasn't been doing that.
Martina says that the schools are still closed and will likely reopen sometime in April. The students will complete 2 weeks' worth of classes in 4 days to catch up and prevent summer classes. She says the park is a great space for her children to get outside.
Families are using outdoor spaces like these to get back outside and make life more normal. Jared Gabrilowitz, Bethesda.
Maryland's Montgomery County Public Library Service has kept folks of all ages engaged with online activities over Zoom. Danny Berzer has more at the Connie Morella Library in Bethesda, Maryland.
Since the pandemic began, laptops and phones have kept us connected to the outside world. COVID-19 has forced many individuals to turn to online activities more than ever before. For Montgomery County residents, the Public Library Service has been a hub of virtual events for all ages. Though all library branches have been closed for nearly a year now, the pandemic has not slowed them down. Anyone interested in attending one of the events can check the Montgomery County Public Library Service's Facebook page or the website. There's something for everyone, from family story time to a French conversation club to yoga and more.
My first book is Emma in Charge.
Director Anita Vassallo says that while the pandemic hasn't made operations easy, online events are going strong.
So from when we started our programs back in March to the 11th of February, we had 91,000 people attend some type of a program.
As more local residents become vaccinated, Vassallo says the library will start to slowly open their branches. For District Wire News, I'm Danny Berger. We now go to Jesselie Crispin for more from Cathedral Heights.
Thanks, Danny. Dogs are man's best friend. Any excuse to leave the house. After mostly staying indoors because of COVID-19 restrictions, Cathedral Heights dog owners are enjoying the opportunity their furry friends give them to go outside and socialize with other humans, while also giving their pets the chance to exercise.
For Cathedral Heights resident Eva Powell, taking her dog Bingo outside allows for her to meet with old and new neighbors.
One of the benefits actually of having a dog is I know my neighbors a lot more than I did before I had a dog, and sunny days like this, particularly when kids are out and playing around too, it's good to be able to socialize together.
Residents, including Kate Horowitz, also frequently visit the Newark Street Dog Park. Horowitz often takes her daughter's dog Glenn out to play at the park. Horowitz realizes how important it is for both her and the dog to go outside and socialize.
It's just nice to be able to come out, socialize, and encourage the dogs to move around too, because they're social animals too.
When the sun's out for the day, Fido gets to play. For District Wire News, I'm Jesselie Crispin.
That's our news for today. Thank you for watching District Wire News, and we'll see you next week.